What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus G15 Advantage gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we're going to go ahead and check out ROG Strix Oblivion Remastered. Now, we were able to get somewhat playable FPS at 1080, but we still couldn't stay over 60 all the time. Though, truth be told, so far I haven't been able to do that on anything yet, so I don't know if we're gonna. But, we're going to still give it a good old try. So, we're going to hop on in, basically do a carbon copy of what we did at 1080. We'll try ray tracing on high, even though it'll probably give us like 20 FPS at this point. We'll still try it. Then we'll try a little FSR, see if it helps at all. And if not, well then, we'll turn FSR down to, what do you call it, that software lumen low on high and see what that's like. And then finish up with medium. And of course, some camera recorded gameplay at the very end. So, let's waste no more time, and let's get to gaming.
So now we'll try the same thing we did at 1080p. We're just gonna put it on high, turn ray tracing on high, and see what kind of FPS we get. Who knows, it actually might be playable for some. I mean, a lot of people only want like, 30 to 40 FPS, and they're totally fine with that. Me, I like my 60 plus, preferably around 80, 90, 100 FPS for single player games, personally, but my personal preferences are not everybody's, so we'll try some other settings too. Alright, now we're going to turn FSR on. It didn't really seem to help much at 1080p, but 1440p is a whole nother animal now, so we actually might get a small performance upgrade or increase in certain areas. I think some areas are just CPU bottlenecked a little bit in this game, but I could be wrong. It just seemed like that's what happened. Usually if FSR doesn't give you a pretty big boost, you're probably CPU bottlenecked. But anyway, let's go hop into the game. now, we're going to go ahead and leave it on high. And we're going to turn it to software lumen, just to see if that gives us playable FPS. It probably won't do much. I think software lumen is still harder for AMD to run than obviously not having ray tracing at all, but we still want to test it out just to see what it's like. So, with that said, let's see. All right, 1440p, we're gonna try medium, just like we did. Not gonna bother with FSR or anything like that, because I still don't think it helped that awful much. I don't know if it's just CPU bottlenecked, possibly bugged. Some games just don't seem to have FSR working so good when I test them now. But regardless, let's go hop in and see what it does on medium 1440.
recorded gameplay. I want to go up in the tower, but I already know we won't get good FPS. Or we will probably get better FPS in there, but it won't be realistic FPS since we spend more time outdoors than underground and whatnot. So there are a lot of places to explore indoors and whatnot too. I'm not saying there's not, but I think you spend most of your time above ground still. I'm starting to think I killed everybody I can kill though. Although every time I think that I find a few more, so. Or maybe they respawn, who knows. Ooh, that was almost bad. I almost jumped off the cliff, and then I would have been dead as a doornail. Still can't stay over 60 at all times, but does a pretty good job. Similar to 1080p. I figure there's some more to kill. do not appear to be able to move the war game. Even though I'm supposed to be here, why don't we go back out here for now? I'm kind of curious what kind of FPS we get out there. Maybe this place is easy. You know? Should have done this at 1080p too, but wasn't thinking. Definitely a little bit harder to run outside, it seems.
I'm just warming up, you pathetic worm! That's the best you can do? This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death! Ha-ha! Ha-ha!
Still got some frame drops while walking around too. So again, still pretty playable, but not the best experience on here either. I'm sure 1080p would have been very similar results. In fact, usually 1080p is laggier and stutterier, so it probably would have been even worse in the frame time department. Though it probably would be saying it's getting more FPS by a tiny bit. Although I think this game's had a CPU bottleneck in some spots, so maybe not. We'll just make a quick lap around this castle-y thing. And then, I think it'll be about time to wrap this video on up. made it back at the Oblivion game. So why don't we go ahead and wrap this video on up. Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered at 1440 on the Asus G15 Advantage. And it did very similar to 1080, and if I had gone back outside the Oblivion gate back to normal place, it probably would have acted very similar. Gotten a pretty playable FPS most of the time, but there are some instances of dropping well into the 20s and 30s, just as RAM stutters. Game just needs a couple updates, I think. Although I think no matter what, it'll always have a stutter here and there. Unreal Engine games mostly do. Especially on Unreal Engine 5, which I'm almost positive this is. But, in any case though, it's time for us to wrap this up so I can go see how the Alienware handles it. But, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.